Soil is a living, breathing organism that feeds everything on the planet, a vast hidden world of biodiversity. So what is soil and where did it come from? What type of soil is in your yard, in your neighborhood? We will answer these questions and conduct some experiments together in this episode all about soil. A quarter of our planet's biodiversity is made up of soil organisms living in the ground. Small animals tunnel and redistribute soil. Earthworms aerate and improve soil. Microorganisms break down organic material, hold nutrients, and bind soil particles together. What is soil? Soil is composed of roughly 45% minerals. That's sand, silt, and clay. 20 to 30% air, and 20 to 30% water. The rest of that is 5 to 10% of organic material. Now that's anything that is currently or formerly alive and all the microbes. The mineral parts of soil, the sand, silt, and clay, are categorized by size. Now, you roughly know about how big a grain of sand is. Now, silt particles are about the thickness of a strand of hair, and clay particles are too small to even be seen. So, in this experiment, what you need to do is first collect your soil sample. Here are the soil samples that we've collected. So hopefully, because we've collected them in 3 different places, each composition will be different, but we have to wait and see. You want to place it in a clear container. My containers are plastic just because we're going to shake them in a minute, and I don't trust myself with glass. Then you're going to fill it up about halfway with water, put the lid on, shake it really good, and then you need to wait a little bit, let it settle, and then observe. So let's do it. Okay, we already have stuff floating on the top. Let's put the lids on and shake each one. Okay, now we wait. I think I'm gonna go make a sandwich. We're back. Our soil sample has been mixed up, settled. Now we can see the composition of each one. Let's start with this one. This one is mostly sand. You can see that here at the bottom. And then there's a thin layer of silt. It's the darker layer here on top. And then there's a very fine layer of clay at the very, very top. It's light. So when you do your soil sample, the sand is always going to be at the very bottom because it's the biggest particle and it's the heaviest. So when you're shaking everything around, it all comes loose and then the heaviest particles are going to settle first. Then the silt, then the clay. Remember, the clay is the finest particles that we can't even see. And then always at the top will be floating organic material. This one barely has any sand at all. You can see that it's a darker color most of the way through. That's silt. Then you see that very defined layer right here, that's clay. So here we have a very thin layer of silt. It's mostly sand here on the bottom, then a thin layer of silt, and then mostly clay actually. I bet if we let this one settle for like 24 hours, we would find that it was even more clay because the water is still so cloudy. Try this experiment at home and then comment down below and let me know what kind of soil you have. How is soil made? Soil is created when nature has its way with the coating of minerals on the earth. Weathering, that's rain, heat, freeze-thaw cycles, gradually turn rock into sand, silt, and clay particles. This creates something a little more workable than rocks, but it's the living organisms that do all the heavy lifting. As microbes, lichen, plants, and animals move in, an enrichment cycle is created that makes the soil more hospitable to plants. Water's role. Soil wouldn't even be possible without precipitation. As water is absorbed into the ground, it collects all the surrounding minerals and becomes soil water. It carries nutrients further down so plants can absorb them with their roots. But the soil water doesn't stop at plant roots. It can filter down to the deeper levels and keep leaching and depleting the nutrients from the topsoil. Soil layers. If you were to slice down into the earth, you would see several different layers or horizons. This is called a soil profile. Let's go find some soil layers. Here in this creek bed is a great example of our soil layers. We can see all of the layers represented right here. At the very top are all the plant roots and visibly darker organic matter. Then we move down to more sandy and clay type soil full of minerals and other nutrients leached down. Then we get to the rocky parent material and the bedrock. You can see a cutout here into the rock to see how it's solid. So here we have a paper model of all of those soil layers. In the description below, there is a link to this exact resource. So let's look at these layers and go over what we can find in each one. If you're still here liking this video and getting some benefit from it, please show your support by hitting that like button, leaving a comment below saying soil rocks, and most importantly, please subscribe. This top layer is what we can see when we go outside and look around. This top layer is the organic layer, or the O horizon. This layer has humus, which is rich in organic material. Below this is the A horizon, commonly called topsoil. Lots of nutrients, decomposed and organic material mixed in. The plant's roots and burrowing animals are found here. Next is the B horizon, or subsoil. Think of this as the storage center containing all of the silt and minerals that have been leached down by that soil water we were talking about earlier. Then there's the C horizon, or parent material. This layer is full of partially broken rock. Then finally, we have the R horizon, or the bedrock. This is a bunch of unbroken parent material. This is just an example. Soil profiles are different in every ecosystem. Climate, vegetation, topography all influence how soil is formed and its composition. If you want to try another experiment with soil, check out the soil pH experiment next.